Hi, my name is Gina. I'm 52. I have 6 kids, but I lost my 29-year-old of 2018.
You have 6 kids. You lost one child to gun violence.
Yes, I have 4 boys and 2 girls, and one of my sons was killed October of 2018,
Well, first of
which is
all,
still unsolved.
you on the right page then. First of all, I want to say sorry for your loss and everything like that. My condolences to your family. So, can you tell us a little bit about your child, about your son, and what happened and everything like that? And if you have any information about the killer, or whatever, like, let us know.
I wish I had more information, but I can share with the people.
Yes.
We called him Rel. His name was Durell, and
And he was Muslim.
he yes. Yes, I am not, but he was. But I honored him and still gave him the burial that I know he would have wanted to have.
Right.
So, and I get on here all the time, and you're so funny. But at the same time, having 4 boys, and I was a single mom, so I know what that's like, and you have to always keep it real with your kids.
Right.
And I'm not saying I got angels. I didn't have angels. I had to fight. It was a fight. It was a struggle. But at the same time, I didn't play with them. I was their mother, and they understood that I was their mother first. We can be friends anytime, but I'm your mom. So, and he got into trouble. He did, I'm going to say probably about 10 years. He came home, and he was with us for almost 3 years before he was killed. Actually, December 25th, Christmas would have made 3 years. He was killed in October before he made it to the 3-year mark. So
he was released on Christmas 2015?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Yep. He was my Christmas gift. And I mean, though he came, and he had problems, he struggled, but I will say that he was trying. And as a mom, he was supposed to come home originally, and he went to a halfway house, and he was on his way probably about 3 years before 2015. And honestly, I prayed because I said, I see him, and he's in this halfway house, but he's not ready.
Right.
So, and that was harsh because some people thought I was being, this nasty mom, and it wasn't that. I just knew that my son wasn't ready.
Right. Your child.
I knew my child, and I knew he wasn't ready, and I would have preferred him to be locked up than be out on the street and knowing he wasn't ready.
That's deep. Hey, listen, can you say that again for all the moms that's listening? Because I talked to a lot of moms, and this is not the first time I heard that. I talked to a lot of moms, and they say, Ikey, my son just came home like a month before, a week before, and I wish they would have, kept him. So can you, elaborate on that and tell the people like what you really mean?
If you are connected with your kids, and when I say, and I'm not trying to take anything away from any other parent, I can speak my story. And my story is that I was with my kids from day one, from the time that they came home to the hospital, the girls and the boys, from the day that they came home from the hospital all the way up. Yes, I was a mom that was in the business. I don't care. It's my house. I pay the bills. So if I have to flip your room, I'm going to flip your room.
Right.
I put them out all the time. Listen, you can't obey my rules. It's time for you to roll. Simple as that. I love you, but you got to go. And that's the way I kept it with all of my kids. It didn't matter, male and female. You can't obey my rules. It's time, excuse my French, but it's time for you to get the fuck out.
Right.
Period. End of story. So they understood that. They knew I was a hard mom sometimes. And I did what I had to do, and I make no apologies. There wasn't a lot of tears, and I can honestly say I cried now because he's gone. But the day of his funeral, it wasn't a lot of tears because as a mom, if you know that you've done everything that you needed to do and you were supposed to do for your child, then you have no regrets. And as long as you have regrets, you can bury them, and the pain is there. The anger, I go through that all the time. He was the night he was killed, he was with someone, and I don't know how many people watch this, so I'm not trying to out anybody, but he was with somebody that was supposed to be his friend, and they left him. They left him. They left my son on the curb. They found him between two parked cars, and the person that he was with was gone. And the police had to take him. They took him, and unfortunately, I saw my son at 3 something that afternoon, and he said, "Mom, I love you." He walked out the door, and I didn't see my son again until he was in a box, because they wouldn't even let me see him at the hospital. So, and this was before COVID, so it really wasn't any excuse. We weren't being rowdy, we weren't being loud, but they didn't let me see him, and that was hurtful. That was a hurt piece. So I tell people every day, I encourage them, if you have sons, if you have children, period, sons, daughters, whomever, your loved ones, before they leave out the door, you make sure you always tell them that you love them, because you never know when it's going to be the last time that you see them. Um, so, but my son was funny. He was a pain. He had a son right before. Thank goodness he got to see him at least turn 1. But I watch my grandson now, and it hurts. It hurts as a mom, and to know that people know things, and I actually had to stop, because people, oh, let me tell you the story. Listen, you can't tell me the story. You can't tell me the story unless you was there, unless you can tell me what was going on. You can't tell me the story. Don't come to me, as a mom. Don't keep coming to me with these. If you can't tell me something that you ain't willing to tell somebody else, don't come to me and tell me nothing.
Right,
I
right.
mean, and I don't know whether that's the right attitude to have. I've been down, before having that attitude. But at the end of the day, if you can't walk into a place and say, "Hey, listen, I can help this woman find who killed her son, and I know this, that, and the other," don't bring me, or I don't want to hear it,
Thank you,
because
Mom.
it just infuriates me. It angers. There was rumors going around. Oh, somebody got it on video. I don't want to hear it. I don't. As a mom, to me, it's not even respecting the fact that I'm his mother and giving me the respect to say, you know what? I don't want to put this woman through no more pain. You do this dumb stuff, and you know what you know, but then you come to me and give me half truth. Don't come to me at all. I'd rather you not come to me at all. So I believe sometimes that's why his murder has went unsolved. Maybe I should listen, and maybe there is something that somebody has to tell me. But at the end of the day, if you can't tell me all, don't tell me nothing.
Right.
And that's just my attitude as a mother.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's helpful, but I also encourage, some people that I know that have lost kids now, since my son. Listen, don't let allow people to come into your life and start trying to drop. Oh, well, yeah, I know it was 2 years ago, but let me tell you what. Don't do it to yourself, because it will hurt. It hurts. It hurts. So I'm glad, I'm thankful I can get up every day. I can still show people love and everything, but then there's some days I don't feel like moving. I move because I have 5 other kids and 10 grandkids, so I'm still blessed, no matter what. But at the same time, it's just that one piece of my heart that just will never beat right, because I'm missing something, and it just hurts.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up about, people trying to give like half information and all that, because that's real. And, I understand what you're saying, because, I tell people that all the time. Like, people will send me stuff and say, well, keep me private. Don't, keep you private. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not keeping you private. If you got something to say it. You understand what I'm saying? So,
That's right.
right. If you don't feel comfortable saying what you're saying, it's no way in the world. I'm never going to tell somebody, yo, keep me private. Don't tell them I said this. Why the fuck am I saying it? You understand what I'm saying?
Don't. That's like you didn't say nothing. You didn't say anything. So if you're not willing to come and say, "Yo, this is my face. This is me. This is it," and truthfully, I know the ones that was his friends versus the ones that weren't, because at the end of the day, I said it at his janaza. Right now, it's 200, 300 people outside. This is beautiful. But what's going to happen 2 years from now? I couldn't
Mm.
even get people to come out on his first year anniversary. And I have not really truly done anything since. There's a tree that he used to stand outside of out front of my house. I put a ribbon on that tree. That's between me and him. Y'all can come if y'all want to. His sisters, you know, they love releasing balloons on his birthday and you know, on the day of his passing. But other than that, I don't care whether y'all come or not. But at the end of the day, this is what I do to keep my son's memory going. But I told them, I said, y'all can stand here and say that y'all going to be here to the very end. It's not going to happen. I'm
Right.
telling you, by the time we get out of here and the winter hits, you know, next winter his body is cold, y'all gonna be like, well, who? Well, who? And I have to comment. I just, you know, this is me just being raw. But, you know, I got a phone call from Curtis Jones. Hi, Curtis, if you're looking.
That's my
You know,
guy. I did a podcast with him
seven,
yesterday.
7 days after my son passed. Now, my son had contact with him over the time that he had come home. He actually ran up on him because we live in Winfield. He ran up on them. They were doing a dedication, and my son didn't know. So he ran up on them, and they were dedicating this building. And he said, "Yeah, I need a job." So right in the middle of all his guards and everything. But, you know, he did. He stopped. He talked to him. He gave him his number. Why that's so important to me is because, and I've known Curtis Jones for a long time. I worked with his mother at Man's School in the
Okay.
kindergarten. So I've known him and you know, we've talked before. So when he called me, you know, it was heartfelt and I was like, wow. I said, well, the only thing I want to do, I said, come his first year anniversary, I would like to do something. He was big with the basketball teams and stuff around here. And you know, I just felt like there was another young lady, Tali, that did the basketball, and she knew him. They gave him resolutions and all of this stuff. But to me, I have to admit, I was a little bit upset because his first year anniversary, I called Curtis Jones and I said, hey, just reaching out. I would like to do something big. I want to do maybe a block party or something, do some giveaways. He loved music. I
Mm.
just want to do something in honor of him. Um, and his response was, I'm getting my hair cut. I'm in the chair. I'll call you back.
Curtis
I've,
Jones?
I've never heard from that man since.
Whoa, 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 mom, wait a minute. Hold on. Because as I just told you, I did a podcast with Curtis Jones yesterday. I was supposed to get him on tomorrow, you know, for one of the elected officials, because I call out the elected officials every Wednesday. So are
Right.
you on this live telling me right now, Ikey Raw, man of the people, that you reached out to council member Curtis Jones about your son first year, and he told you he getting his hair cut?
He talked about my son when he was running or being reelected. It is a video out there of him. It wasn't Dirk Rell that he was talking about. I know Dirk Rell because he grew up around my kids as well. He mentioned my son. And he said, you know, it was this young man that reached out to me and I would see him. And he told this whole touching story. I'm sorry.
No, take your time, mom. Take your time. Take your time. It's okay. We're gonna get through
And,
this tonight.
and it just hurt me so bad because you talked about him. So you knew who he was. And I reached out to you. And you didn't do anything. You couldn't even return my call. And it hurt. It just hurt so bad. It hurt. It hurt. It hurt. But, you know, things you get over and everything. And like I said, people, you know, my son wasn't nothing. He wasn't nothing special. He wasn't some kid out here that, you know, I can say he was a menace sometimes. But all I wanted to do was honor him and give him something. And all I wanted to do was reach out to you for you to contact me so we could have this talk. And
Wow.
I got nothing, and I have to tell you, it hardened me. It really hardened me. So now it's just kind of like sometimes I find myself where I have this attitude where it's just like I don't care. I don't care what other people think. I don't care if they ever find the person that killed them or not. It doesn't even matter to me. I know that I love my son. I know
Right.
how much he's loved in our family. And that's what I encourage other mothers, and I'm not saying people aren't supposed to find and have justice for their kids, but sometimes you have to find that justice and get that love and just do it internally, because to me I after my son died, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. I take 23 pills a day. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I have so many. It makes you sick. It will make you sick inside if you continue to just wait on other people. So I don't wait on anybody anymore. I feel blessed for what I do have. I feel blessed that I had 29 years with my son. Um, though I would have loved, because all we talked about was when he turned 30. When I turned 30, this is what I'm going to do. When I turn 30, oh, mom, I got a son now. I got to do better. I have to, he was encouraging him. And I believe, I know people say it all the time, but I believe in my heart as a mom that had he still been here, he would have been doing good things. He loved talking to these young people, and they responded to him. He loved talking to them and telling them, you don't want to go to jail. And he used to always promise me, there's nothing, mom, nothing I'm ever going to do to be away from you again. And fortunately, but unfortunately, he kept his promise. It's just that he was taken away in another way. He went to another home. So I accept that, and I deal with it. But it's just, you expect people to care as much as you care, and you can't expect people to care about your child more than you care about them. I tell people all the time, I knew him 9 months before anybody else knew him, because I carried him, and that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me.
Mom, I just want to say this. Just allow me one moment, because I want to say this right now. Because anybody who on this live, and they know, I don't play no games. What I'm going to promise you right now, Curtis Jones is going to make this right. I just did a podcast with Curtis Jones yesterday with Lawheat, right? And he asked me, when we going to do this again? Curtis Jones, no, I ran down on him at City Hall and all that. He know me. He know me, trust me. What he said about your son to get reelected, that's what I be talking about these politicians, right? They do a lot of bullshit. They do a lot of bullshit in the city, right? I'm going to call Curtis Jones personally, Mom. I'm going to make sure the next time you want him to do something for your son, trust me, whether it's his birthday, whatever you say, you tell me. I'm going to make sure Curtis Jones get his ass on the phone or meet you personally and make this right. Because what you just told us, what you just told these people is bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? You don't use a victim, and that's what these politicians do. I just was talking about this the other day. They always tell the family, bring the pictures of your loved ones. Bring the pictures of your loved ones when they have these fucking press conferences, right? And here you are, mother, calling him, and he gonna tell you I'm getting my hair cut after you just used my son for sympathy. You just used my son.
Even know it. I didn't even know it. Somebody happened to see it, and they told me, and they said, "Gee, look at this. Or is he talking about your son?" And I listened to the story that he was telling me, and what hurt so bad, because when I went to go get my son's, the personal effects that they would give me, because it's unsolved, they don't, you only get some, but in his wallet, and I can pull it. The very first card I pulled out of his wallet was a card that Curtis Jones gave him with his cell phone number on the back of it. And it was just, I was hurt, and I cry sometimes. I'm a big crybaby, but I got angry. And in my head, I said, oh, this nigga gonna want to get reelected one day.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be standing right there. I'm gonna be standing there to tell my story. You told the story, now I'm gonna tell you my story. You've been sitting here promising these kids. We have a school, BWAP, Bieber Winfield Alternative, that's been sitting vacant. Big building, big ass building, big ass lot. You promised for the past 10 years that you was going to get that turned into something so our kids could have a rec center or something or someplace to go in Winfield. And I'm telling you, I was excited because I'm like, oh, okay, you know, we got these girls out here. They're not excluded.
Right.
Because, you know, being a mom that has girls and boys, males and females, I will say, you know, these girls got a lot of shit with them too. You know, and absolutely. Sometimes putting that pressure, I was one of those girls. You know, I was 15 when I got pregnant with my first kid. So I thought I knew it all. You know, I just lost my mom at 15, you know, so, but I just knew everything. You couldn't tell me anything. And I had to get a hold of myself because I had a guy that I don't know whether he worked down at the juvenile detention, but I had to go down there for one of my sons. And he saw my kids on the corner and they were acting a fool. And he said, Mom, he said, let me tell you something. He said, I'm not trying to get in your business. He said, but you either better get a hold of those boys or them boys going to have you cowering in your house and they going to get a hold of you. And I looked at him and I said, this man crazy. I said, he need to mind his business. These kids. And then I got home and I'm going to say it went on and they just got more and more out of hand. You know, I thank God for my dad because my dad was here. My dad never put me out. My dad let me stay. You know, I've been in this house since I was age 7. I'm 52 years old now. Every kid that I had, every grandchild that I've had has come home to this house. This is our family home, and I've kept it going since the passing of my dad in 2013. But
sorry for your loss.
I had to, you know, stop and say, wait a minute, you know, you trying to be these kids' friend. You want to be the cool mom. You know, you want to be the cool mom of the block, and some said, no, that's not gonna work. And immediately, I don't know. I'm sorry. I hope DHS ain't watching. I think I got up and whooped their ass the next morning just cause.
Right.
I wanted them to know that I was in control.
Right, real mom. Like that's what we gotta get back to, like real mothers.
Yeah, you have to. You listen. Then my kids will tell you. I beat them probably about every day, but I wasn't taking no crap. You would not go out here. You weren't going out here and disrespect no adults. You were going to school. You were going to act right in school, or I was going to whip your ass in school. Right. It didn't matter where it was, in the bus stop, or in the school, in the middle of the street. I didn't care where we was, you know. But I'm happy because I can see that I did the right thing, not through how my kids grew up. I can see my results though through how my kids raise their kids. And I tell people all the time, don't look at how your kids turn out. That's not going to tell you how you raised your kids and if you did a good job. Look at how they raised their kids. Are they instilling the same things in their kids that they instilled in you? Because they're not going to instill nothing in their kids that they don't like. But when you see them, listen to them, and you hear them using the same verbiage that you use with them on their kids, I smile. Yep. Because that's me. That's me. That's all. That's me. And what I said, though you didn't like it then, obviously you like it now because you're telling them the same thing. So, you know, but you know, I've been in this neighborhood for a long time. So when he said that that's what he was going to do, we were all excited. I couldn't wait. I wanted to get in there. I wanted to have a girls' class and teach these girls some etiquette. I want you to know how to roll some chicken, not roll some weed. Listen, you want some weed, that's on you. But you need to know how to keep a nigga fed if you want them. You gotta put some food in the stomach. Right. You gotta know how to do some home-based things. So I just wanted there was so many programs that was going through my head, so many things that I wanted to do. Yes, you know, you put a basketball court up there and you blacktopped it. Now I'm not against basketball, but me being a mom, why we always gotta teach our black kids that, you know, basketball and music is the only place that you can fit. Right. Why can't we teach them to be engineers? Why can't we teach them, you know, science? I have a grandson that he loves anything dealing with, you know, science or blowing. I said, this boy gonna probably be the next Unabomber or something because he loves blowing.
You
But
like
why
making
do we
stuff.
have to? Yeah, but why do we have to? Why can't we teach our kids tennis? Why can't we teach our kids how to play rugby?
Right.
And eat scones and shit like that. Why does
Right.
it always have to be, you know, so you put a black top out there. What about the inside of the school? I went to that school. I know how many rooms that school got. I know how big that school is. Do you know how much stuff we could do in that school? And you promised. It's been 10 years. The school is still vacant. And this is in your community around the corner where your mama lived.
Right.
Your mom lived in this community. She lived here. You lived here. You grew up here. Why aren't you doing what you said you were going to do? I like holding people accountable because I love when people hold me accountable. Hold me accountable so that I can become a better person. But if you are an elected official and you're out there and these are the promises and things that you're putting in these kids' head, then you want to understand. You don't understand why they acting out. Because guess what? They look at all adults as liars. They liars. They come and they hypocrites. You tell us don't sell weed. You smoke the weed that we selling. You tell us don't carry guns or learn how to, you know, get yourselves together and have a discussion. But when Mr. Johnny around the corner make you mad, the first thing you want to do is you want to, you know, you want to take care of it. These kids see us as hypocrites.
Right.
And this is what I said at one of the meetings. I said it to even Curtis Jones was there. He ain't say nothing. I said, you know, y'all sitting around here. I said, there's probably about 25 of us in this room. And y'all talking about, yeah, we need to get this for the kids. We need to do this for the kids. I said, it's a group of guys right across the street. I know them all. Know them since they've been in diapers. Let me run outside and go get one of them and bring them in here. Why are we sitting here as adults telling them what they're going to do? Did you like somebody telling you what you was going to do? Hell no. You wanted them to ask you what you wanted to do.
Right.
Nobody's asking them nothing. Everybody trying to tell them what to do. Well, guess what? I'm 52. Don't tell me what to do, because I will rebel on you. And I'm gonna tell you, I can show you better than I can tell you what I'm not going to do.
That's why I was just having a conversation with somebody about earlier. You know, they talking about, you know, go to the corner and get the drug dealers off the corner. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, what do you got to replace that? You understand what I'm saying? If they out there getting money doing what they doing, what do you got to replace what they doing? You understand what I'm saying? Where you going to take them at? They talking about take the young boys off the corner. Take them where? Where we taking them to?
Yeah, where you going to take them and what you going to do with them? You going to take them from one corner to the next corner.
Right.
But they know that already. And because they know that, they don't respect it. So you are asking them to give up their guns, give up their drugs, give up all of this stuff. They don't respect it because they know that we talking out our ass.
Right.
They already know that.
Exactly.
They looking at us and they like, you know, like that damn Charlie Brown, womp, because they not listening to us.
Yeah.
They not listening to a damn thing that we have to say because they already know that we full of shit.
Yeah.
And you know, that's just my piece.
If you don't, yeah, Mom, I'm glad you came on here and said what you said, because there's a lot of people watching, like, and at the end of the day, Curtis Jones gonna make this right. That's my target. Everybody know how I get down. From tonight on, he my target. And I would say this to you, Mom. If you had the credentials, if you want to do that, I would say to you, run against him. Next time it's time to vote, you run against Curtis Jones. You know what I'm saying? Let the people know what the hell he really about. You run against him. Look, he been doing all this bullshit or whatever he doing. He tried to use my son to get reelected. He used my son's name, but then I call him. You tell me you getting a fucking haircut? Really?
Yep. I can remember it like it was literally. He said he had been away, and when he heard about my son being killed, and you know, it was 3 murders that day, in Winfield, and he was one of the 3. And again, like I said, I don't have a perfect family, you know. I there's a lot going on, but at the end of the day, I try to do whatever I need to do for my kids, for other kids. You know, I can remember a time, everybody still thinks I'm crazy. I had a sleepover for 30 kids in this house. It didn't matter. But they was all in my house. They was protected. You
Right.
know, girls was upstairs, boys was downstairs. I still don't know how they figured out how to paint the boys' toenails black, or they did something, you
But
know,
they had fun. Everybody was safe.
but they had fun, and it was about feeling safe and secure. You can't do that nowadays. You can't do this in this day and age. It wasn't no, you know, when people came to me and said, "Oh, you know, your kids ran up in somebody's house or they was doing something." For real? They did what? Oh, okay. I'll be right down there. You know, it wasn't no, oh, it's not my kid. It
Right.
wasn't my kid. Don't be talking about my kids. Don't put, listen, they knew. Don't go to her and tell her her kids did nothing wrong and you ain't do nothing about it. Because first she going to jack you up. Then she going to jack them up. And then she might come back to you. That was the day and age that I lived in. If you see my kid doing something wrong, don't come to me and say, "Oh, well, I saw him, but I didn't say nothing about it." Then I don't want to hear it. Because you obviously you liked what he was doing.
Right.
You know, it was a matter of respect. But these kids know that it's no unity. They know it's no respect amongst the adults. So, hey, we're teaching them, if the adults don't have respect, then we don't have to have respect. And guess what? We don't have to have respect for them either. And half of these parents, no, I will say it. And like I said, I ain't no great parent. I wasn't the best parent, but at the end of the day, stop being scared of your kids. Stop being scared of your kids. I know they probably outweigh you. My boys outweigh me. But at the end of the day, it's too many objects in my house. And I run here. So at the end of the day, you wanna do this? We could do this. I'm not gonna be scared of something that I gave birth to. Never gonna be scared of something that I gave birth to. So one of us is gonna go. Now you might win, but then you gotta live with the fact that you did something to your mama.
Right.
Have fun. Have fun. Be my guest. See how long you live with that. But at the end of the day, you know, we got to take back our kids in that respect. And we can't expect a teacher, a politician, or anybody else to do it. We got to do it, and it got to start in our houses. It got to start at home. The respect has to be taught at home before you can teach them to respect anything else out there on the street. That's the way it was. That's the way it should be. And you can tell the difference it made, because we didn't have all of this killing and all of these, you know, burying kids 2 and 3 times. I went out to my son's grave one time, and he was, you know, the last one. I go back out there maybe a week later, and it's probably 15 more. A week later, my son was number 400, and I think it's 25 in 2018. He was the 425th murder in 2018. And then by the end of 2018, it probably was up to maybe 470 something. So that means that in that small amount of time, there were 70, 80 something kids that were killed, or young men or people that were killed after him. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's sad. I had a mom on here last week that said the same thing. She said, you know, she buried with her son, and, you know, she go see her son a week later. It's 30, 40, 50 more, you know, graves up there, you know, and mothers that she's seeing for the community.
I stopped going. I stopped going. My heart can't take it. I do take it personally when we lose children. I take it personally. It's everyone is like, I relive my son over again, but I feel something for that child, and I feel something for that family, and because I know the pain that they're going to have to go through. And I don't care, even if it's somebody that I can't stand. I would not want anybody to go through this kind of pain. Even the person that took his life. And I know that might be a real, you know, crazy thing to say. But whomever it is, I don't even want to see his mother go. I'd rather see him get locked up and be in there in jail. I would never want to see that retaliation and that, because all that does is keep spawning. You retaliate and you go and you take him out. Well, then his people want to come back and take somebody else out. I got 4 kids, 4 boys. How many more of my boys you gonna take because they retaliated and took somebody out? You not thinking about the fact that, yeah, you retaliated, that's your boy, you retaliating. But they not gonna look at it like that. They're gonna look at it, oh, it must have been one of his brothers, or it must have been his mom,
Right.
or one of his baby sister, or maybe I'll take a niece or a nephew or some, because they taking kids now. It don't even
Absolutely.
matter. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It don't matter. So all this retaliation that's being done, bullets don't have no names on them. So though you think you might be coming for me, and listen, I'm old. I done lived my life. I done had fun. Okay. It's time for me to, when it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go. But not my 4-year-old or my 9-month-old or my 14-year-old. They got life to live. And you shooting trying to get to me or get to his brothers or his sisters or somebody else could possibly take one of them out. And now that's a whole fight.
It's sick.
And it's ridiculous. It's sick. It makes me sick.
That's
It makes me sick.
that's the mentality of the city. Like the last couple of years has been really bad. Like kids are dying, mothers are dying, females, it don't even matter. We talk about this all the time. I'm like, if they can't get you, they feel as though they want to get anybody in your family. That's a victory to them. You know what I mean? It don't matter if it's a 5-year-old kid or a 90-year-old woman.
Doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. And that's why I encourage when I left that hospital. Thank God, again, like I said, I've been in this neighborhood. We ain't the Gottis or nothing, but at the end of the day, I've been in a lot of these young men, because they're not kids no more. But I've been in a lot of these young men's lives. And, yes, I fussed with them. Some of them I might have probably beat them along with my kids. But because of the respect that I gained from being with them and being around them, and I ain't have to go out there and cuss them out. Yo, what you doing on that corner? And it used to be funny because I years ago, I would go and walk to the corner store and it, be 12, 1 o'clock. I'm going to the store. This my neighborhood I live in.
Right.
I'm never going to be scared to go anywhere.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, my phone would ring, and it'd be one of my sons. Why are you outside? How do you know I'm outside? Cause look behind you, and it be them behind me like, sorry, we had to tell, but we gonna walk you home now,
Yeah, looking out for you.
So that gain, because of that respect that I had, I never talked to them nasty. Yeah, I fuss with them, but at the end of the day, that respect allows me to be able to go out here, and when I hear and I see them, being able to intervene and say, yo, I know you mad, but it's not worth it. Go home. Walk with me. I need somebody to walk with me, or pull them away in hopes that it will take them out of that situation and you can live another day. And I love working with young people. Like I have a heart for them. I love them. And it shows in the way that they treat me. When they see me, and it shows in the way that I treat them. Something, if it saves one person, then that's good enough for me.
Yeah, somebody said Day and Donovan, are those your sons?
Yes.
Yeah, she said Day and Donovan always was at my house, and they were great kids. That's what Miss Nikki said that.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. I have a lot of kids, so there's a lot of people that know them, and I am so grateful. Nikki, if you're there, whoever else out there that might be, I'm grateful because I had to work. So yeah, they were my eyes and my ears. I counted on people in my neighborhood, in my community, to be my eyes and my ears to make sure that my kids were my kids had that fear that they knew, like, wait a minute, even though my mom's not around, somebody's going to tell her.
Well, she said she's not feast. She said she's not feasting Najee, mom. I think it's Najee.
Yeah, I do remember. Oh my gosh. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for for them. And I'm glad that when my kids got out there that they were doing the right thing. Not all the time, you
Right.
know. So again, I'm not going to sit here and ever say that I had the best kids. And, you know, some of them graduated, some of them didn't. You know, some of them end up in jail, some of them didn't. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, it was what I could do, and for the most part, you know, they did what they were supposed to do. Um, you know, we've had a lot of unfortunate situations in our household, but what I will say is this: I'm not the only one. And
Right.
when I started looking that way and saying, "Hey, wait a minute, there's somebody else that's going through it just as much as you." So when you say, you know, why me? I never cry, why me? Why not me? Who am I? I'm nothing special. You know, that I shouldn't have problems and I shouldn't go through things. But it's how you come out and the attitude and how it strengthens you. That's what makes the difference, and how you can help somebody else when you see somebody else going through that same situation. And I hope that, you know, losing Rel has, you know, it's killed me, but it's strengthened me. So if that makes any sense.
No,
But yeah.
it definitely it definitely makes sense. You know, I hear that a lot of times from, you know, a lot of moms, and you know, like I tell people all the time, you don't know what it's like if you haven't lost a child. You can't tell that mother, "I know what you're feeling." I don't even try to do that. Understand what I mean? I always tell the moms, you know, I can connect you with some moms who know exactly what you're going through because they lost a child as well. I don't know. I never lost a child to violence or anything, so I don't know what the mothers go through, and I'm not gonna try to pretend that I do. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of mothers who do know. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean.
Right, man. And I just, you know, again, I'm thankful for those people that have been around, but I will also caution people that sometimes, you know, just to know that there's people around, or sometimes just a, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I still get those looks on the street, you know, where when you walk down the street and it's like you turn your back because you don't want to say anything. And most of them are his, you know, I use quotes, yes, so-called friends, because to me they weren't his friends. They you know, we keep trying to encourage our kids, like, listen, stop calling everybody your friend.
Right.
Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your cousin. You know, my kids used to come in here and be like, yeah, this is like my brother. I don't remember giving birth to him, but you're okay. You calling him your brother.
Yeah.
You know, he ain't come out this womb, but you know, say he's close like a brother.
Right.
But at the end of the day, honor and respect the fact that you have brothers, that we, you know, we're family, and then we strengthen our inner, make sure that your inner core is strengthened. And then you can start adding your homies and your friends and everything. But you got to make sure that your inner core is strong, and that is good before you start trying to add all these other people to it.
Right.
Because these people will be here today and they will not be here tomorrow. And God forbid something should happen to you. How many of these people can I honestly say help out his son? You know, his mother is taking care of this child, you know, by herself. How many times do y'all go and say, you know, right? Not me. I'm grown. I can take care of. But how many people have, you know, stayed in contact and said, hey, do you need anything?
Right.
Well, you know what? I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to drop this off.
Right.
Nothing.
But how many of them was telling you when he died? How many of them was telling you we got him, we gonna hold you down? Or they posting this picture on social media, so we gonna ride. This one hurt. Don't worry about it. And they ain't did nothing since then.
Hundreds. I mean, I will go out there and I will make myself sick. You know, you see the little heart emojis and you see them, and I'm like, oh, you know, they really cared about my son. Yeah, okay. Ask me, have I talked to them? And then it was like, you know, stop being stupid.
Right.
You know, because, you know, I got stuck on stupid, and it pulls at your heartstrings as a mom. Oh, you know, they showing my son love. Oh, you know, they really cared about my son. I can't even tell you, half of them might not even know my son. They just might have hopped on there and put a heart or something, just, you know, because they're fascinated at the fact that somebody was killed.
Right.
you know. So can I tell you honestly? No, but you know, those hearts and those emojis and those things start dying down to now you have maybe 5 or 6, 7 or 8. One of his very close friends did a song in his honor, and I listen to it so often. I mean, and he 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 was so upset it upset me because I can tell in his talk, and when he comes around, he can't even stay for that long because you can just feel the pain.
Mm,
I think that was the very first time, honestly, that I can say um that I saw so many men cry.
mm,
Um and it upset me because I'm used to seeing strong men, but it
right,
upset me because it was like, not upset me. Let me take that word back. It kind of made me feel good because it showed me that even through his trials and his tribulations, he touched people.
right.
He touched people. He made people laugh, and he made them angry, and but when he's gone, he made them cry. And it takes a lot to make a grown man cry.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But I was blown away. But I have to say, if you're going to do this, and this is one thing that I would say, because I know there's a lot of people watching, if you're going to do those kind of things in a year, when it becomes 2 years, don't forget. Don't forget. Just don't forget. I don't care whether you have to market them, because it's important. It's important to a mom like me to know that I'm not the only one, that if he really meant something to you, even if it's nothing more than send a heart,
Mm,
or hey, how you doing, or I was thinking about him, because it means a lot.
right.
It really does. It helps. It helps in the healing process. Um, Everybody has a book. I say, everybody has their book that they have in life. Um, so when John or Mike or somebody was in his life, that was a chapter that was in his book that I'll never know because I don't know you. So you stopping past to tell me, oh yeah, because when we was in school, I went to school with him. That's another part of his book that I get to know about,
Mm,
and it makes me smile,
yeah,
and it makes me happy, and starts putting all the pieces of him when he wasn't around me. It puts those pieces together, so it means a lot. It
that's
means a
deep.
lot.
That's
I
deep.
would tell people, I want my pieces to my book.
Right. That's deep.
So
Because I understand what you mean about that. Because a lot of moms they say it all the time. Like, well, Ikey, he was out there. Like, I didn't know who he was into, what he was doing. But when some of those same people could come back around and tell you, like, look, we used to do this. He was out there with me doing this. Like, we used to go there. We used to do that. And now you're like, oh well, oh that's where he was at when this day when he was doing. Oh, he was with you. Like he was. Oh, now it makes sense. Like, and so I understand what you're saying.
yeah, it really does, and I'm telling you, and I know. I mean, he had Durell, for people that know him, he could tell some stories. Oh my gosh, they were sometimes the most outlandish stories. But when you think about back in his stories and his dancing, his little dance moves that he would do, but his stories most of all. And we have videos of him telling his little stories and everything. And I'm telling you, just the tears would be just running down your eyes nonstop because he would have you crying with these tears. And then, I think he used to tell this story, and for the longest time, October the 29th will be 3 years that he will be gone. But he used to come home and he would tell his story about this boy named Preston that was in his school, and he had cerebral palsy. And Preston used to ask him for a nickel every single day. Mom, I'm getting tired of this boy. Preston always asks me, and he talked like him and imitate him. It wasn't until last year that I found out that there was nobody named Preston
No,
ever.
What was
It
he
was
talking about?
somebody named Preston. He was telling these stories because he loved the reaction of making people laugh. And because he had just gave him momentum, but it was one of his friends, they said, Miss Gina, you know it was nobody named Preston. But he would come outside and he'd be like, my mom is cracking up. Ain't nobody named Preston. And and I said, are you serious? He said, yeah, he would come outside and he would be in tears because he knew he had made you laugh so hard.
Yeah, that's a good son. Put a
That
smile on your mom's face.
he loved and he never walked away without telling. I mean, he could be talking to you right now. The last thing, I don't care if it was his first time meeting you, the last thing he would say to you is, all right, love you, man. That was his signature. I don't care who he came in contact with. It was always, I love you, man. I love you. That's how he ended the conversation. And I'm so grateful that the last thing that I got to hear my son say was, I love you, Mom. That's the last thing, because some parents don't get that. So
Right.
again, like I say, it hurts me, but I'm so blessed. I'm blessed beyond measure at the things that I did have with him. And hopefully, one day justice will be served. And I don't mean, justice in the way of something happening to whomever it was that took his life. I mean justice in the way that your life will be so changed and so transformed that you will be able to tell this story. You'll have your justice and you'll serve your consequence, but you will still have a life that you will be able to go on and encourage somebody and tell them, you don't ever want to experience taking a life away from a mother and having the pain that I put this mother through. I want him to be able to say that. I truly do.
That's deep.
I really do. That's the one thing that I pray for. I pray that his life be so changed until he has nothing left to do but either tell on himself, or after the consequences served, that he will be able to go on and serve productively and be able to encourage other people never to do what he's done.
That's deep, Mom. Do y'all hear that? Like, she's not saying, I wish he was dead, I wish somebody kill him. Like, she just saying, like, at the end of the day, I wish he just realized what he did. Go live a better life. Help somebody else. Let somebody else know this ain't the way to go. Like, that's real deep, because I know a lot of mothers and fathers who cannot say that. They want blood. They want revenge. Like, they don't care if somebody killed the person. You know what I mean? And I just appreciate you coming on and sharing your story and everything like that. For everybody who tuned in, whatever I can do to support you, I'm going to get your information and all that. Make sure that you send me your information or whatever, because I'm on Curtis Jones' ass. He going to make this right. I promise you.
Oh, please. I will stand right beside you, because at the end of the day, he needs to understand. Be a man of your word. You want these kids out here to be a man of their word and respect you, and you talk about all of this talk, but it's more than talking. I used to, my saying, and anybody on here that knows me, you can chime in. They know I tell them, don't tell me about it, show me. If you want to impress me, show me. Don't tell me nothing.
Right.
Because your words don't mean anything. It doesn't hold weight. Especially, listen, I get up sometimes and I tell people I'm going to do something, and then something comes up and I can't do it. I can't honor what I said. Now, I'll give them a phone call. But what about those times when I can't? I can't give you a phone. So sometimes it's better not to say anything. Just show with your actions and do what you say you're going to do. That's it. But he did not do that, and I will forever hold him accountable for that. I will forever hold him accountable for that. I'm sorry. And I forgive him, but I will forever hold him accountable for those words that at that time in that part of my life, just losing my child, a year goes by and this is the excuse you give me. I'm in the chair, I'll call you, I have to call you back, and then I never hear from you again. How dare you? How dare you, Curtis Jones? How dare you?
No, whatever you want to say, you can say it, because they know. These politicians know I don't play with them. They know I'm on Curtis Jones' ass. I was just on his podcast yesterday. They just said, because I was going to have him get on my live tomorrow when I, do the open invitation to the elected officials. So this will be a perfect time. I'm on his ass. He definitely got to join me tomorrow and explain this shit. But at the end of the day, he gonna make this right. He gonna make this right.
Look, and go look at that video. Y'all go look at that video. I'm not, so you will know. Like I want to make sure that I have the proof is in the put. Don't take it down, Curtis. Don't take it down, because I got it. I got it.
On his page.
Yeah, it was on his page when all the way back when he was getting reelected.
Yeah.
And he had it on his page.
Yeah, that was the end of 2018 when everybody was doing voting and all that, when they was running for office again. Yep. I'm gonna go find it. I'm gonna go find it. Listen, I'm on his ass. These politicians.
And if you can't find it, I'm gonna make sure I give you my information, because if you can't find it, I got it.
Well, matter of fact, listen, when we get off of this, you just send it to me. Send it to my DM. I ain't even gonna look for it. You got it. You just send it to me, and I'm gonna repost it. I'm gonna repost it, and I'm gonna let the people know exactly who he's talking about, and I'm gonna let the people know exactly what happened when you call him. Because the people they watching it live, I'm gonna repost this live so the people know you tell them the truth. So he gonna have to explain this shit. Councilmember Curtis Jones, you got to explain to Ms.Gina, why did you use her son for sympathy to get your votes from your constituents? And since she called you to do something for her son after you got reelected, now you're getting your hair cut.
Nothing. October 29th, 2019. All I wanted to do, well, actually, it was June. It was June of 2019. All I wanted to do was celebrate his 30th birthday and just remember him. 30 is a big, everybody dirty 30. So, he couldn't wait. So all I wanted to do was just something. I mean, don't get me wrong. We did what we did. We had a nice little cookout anyway. We played our music anyway. We released our balloons anyway. But you said, call you, and you would help, and you didn't.
See, that's what I tell people about all these and I'm glad that because Davida said it on her earlier. A lot of these politicians give you the card. That's the dummy phone number. They don't answer them phone numbers. You understand what I'm saying? They tell me that all the time. You got my number. That's not your fucking number. Understand what I'm saying? You got another phone number. I'm not trying to call this number on the card. That's what these politicians do. Understand what I'm saying? Call me. You ain't answering that fucking number. Yeah. I'm on Curtis Jones' ass. I'm on Curtis Jones' ass. Trust me. I'm on his ass.
You're right. And I'm going to make sure. I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to give it to you, because at the end of the day, I'm angry. And when I think about it, I still get angry. But it was just always, what can I do? Right. I'm just one person. Who's going to listen to me? Yeah. But, now I'm getting old, and I'm getting even more angry. So he better watch out.
Durell's birthday is June 30th?
Durell's birthday is June 25th.
Oh, June 25th. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get Curtis Jones, and we're going to do something this year for Durell's birthday. I promise you that right now. June 25th, whatever. I don't know if it's a Monday or Tuesday. You let me know what day is good for you. And I promise
I'll let you know.
Yeah, we're going to show up. We're going to show up. We're going to pull up for Durell, and whatever you want us to do. Because listen, you got the right person tonight. I'm glad you got on here. This shit ain't, trust me. They know how to play.
I'm glad too.
Every politician, they know how to get down. They know what Ikey Raw is about. I just was on a podcast with Curtis Jones yesterday. I just did his podcast with him yesterday called, what's his podcast called? Real Talk or Straight Talk or something like that. I was just on a podcast with him yesterday. So he got to explain this shit.
He a real mess. He a whole real mess.
Well, I got him. Don't worry about it. Listen, Ms.Gina, any last words you want to say to the people before I let you go? Because I got another mom that says she want to tap in. I'm going to try to
just that I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. I know I talk a lot, but I appreciate you. I listened to you. Like I think I wrote it. I said, wow. I said, he's intense. I said, but you're not. You are the voice that those young men are going to listen to.
Absolutely.
Because you tell the truth and you keep it real. It's not all pretty. You know, sometimes, yeah, you got to cuss. You know, I try not to. I try to be all proper, but you know, you make me mad. Anybody on here to know, they'll probably start chiming in like, no, don't make them mad.
Right.
But I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate you giving time and just listening. Because sometimes that's what's needed.
Yeah, like
So I
that's what I'm
appreciate you.
about. I tell people all the time, I did enough, you know, destruction in my community. You know what I mean? I bust my gun and been shot at and all that. That don't excite me no more. I'm not into that. You know what I mean? So if I can help somebody else, if I can help some young child not go down that path, if I can help a mother find the person who killed their son, get you some justice, that's what I'm about. You know what I mean? That's what make me sleep good at night.
Yes, and I just want to tell, because I see all of the messages and everything, and I am truly grateful for you guys. I'm truly grateful for the comments. You really don't know as a mom how much that means to me, how much energy it just really rejuvenates me, and it gets me going. And that's what I've needed. So I love y'all. I love you. I love you. I love you. And hopefully it helps somebody.
We listen, we definitely gonna get to the bottom of this. So all y'all, look, clear your fucking calendar. You already know. I gotta find out what date this is. Around June 25th. We gonna be in Woodfield. Yeah, we doing something for real.
Yeah.
We doing that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's going down in June. We ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Like real shit. Yeah.
No, because I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna be on your top on June 24th. Yo, it's tomorrow.
Listen, I'm gonna be on Curtis Jones. Matter of fact, I'm sending an email tonight to his people, and then I'm calling tomorrow. I'm making some calls tomorrow. Trust me. Trust me. They know I don't play. I'm not one of these fake ass activists, none of that. I'm not trying to get and the politicians to donate to my nonprofit so I can't say nothing to them. Because that's what's wrong with a lot of people, right? The politicians help them out. They come with the grants and all that. They in their pocket. So they can't speak out. They can't check them, right? I check anybody. From the mayor to the police commissioner, I check anybody in the city, and they know how I get down. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's it.
That's right.
That's what we doing, man. That's what we doing. So, Mom, I appreciate you. I love you.
Appreciate you.
Anything you need me to do, you need me to post something about Rel, you want to get justice, just send it to me. We can talk. I'll send you my number and all that. But I'm on Curtis Jones' ass.
Definitely. Well, the other website you were talking about, they actually put his picture up. So I appreciate them.
Philly, the Philly Unsolved Murder Job?
Yes, the other what was the other website that you were talking about that works hand in hand? I can't now all of a sudden I'm
No
acting
Guns
like
On?
a virgin. Yes,
No Guns Zone. Yeah, that's my guy. That's my bro.
Yep. He actually put during that time they had a picture of my son up there. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, see me, I don't post the pictures unless the family asks. See, that's one thing about me. I don't want you. I mean, I post, like if it's on the news, I post it. If you do, did you do a Crime Fighters with Channel 6? Did you talk to Crime Fighters?
I haven't heard from Jack nobody. You understand? I haven't heard from Jagger. You know, I love the comments because I was reading the comments about I think you had something else on the unsolved murders in Philly. So I go back and I scroll and I look, and there was something on there as far as, you know, because I'm the dum-dum. I was sitting here, oh, you know, the homicide is gonna call me as soon as they no, they not.
Not at all.
No, they not.
And I was breaking it down to the people yesterday on the video I did. I was saying to the people, I said, it's sad, but the detectives, they'll look at your kid's case. If they was locked up in that area or anything, they'd be like, oh, they're a criminal. Nah, you know what, he got what he deserved. And it's fucked up because at the end of the day, these are babies. These are family. And just because you made a mistake back in the day don't mean you deserve to be killed. Y'all not going to find out who killed me because you think I'm a criminal. You think I'm a menace to society, and I wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, well, I heard there were a lot of people that were giving descriptions of the people that had shot him. There were so many things that happened that night. And when we went, and I said, okay, well, what about the descriptions and the people that you talked to? I said, that said, you know, what kind of clothes they had on and this and that and the other. Oh, nobody told us nothing. I said, wait a minute. So show me something that an officer wrote. Well, no officer wrote anything. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me to know? Are you, listen. Anyway, so I had to stop because I was out for blood. Everybody made me angry. You know, I was just angry, and then I had to stop because what I had to say.
No, go ahead.
It just wasn't worth it. But I'm gonna let you go because I know there's somebody else, and I would love to,
No.
I'm
I
gonna
just wanted to respond to this comment because you got a lot of dumb people in Philadelphia always saying they found the white boy who got killed, the Temple student killer in 24 hours. So let me tell this dumb motherfucker something for everybody who keep commenting. The young boy who killed the Temple student was pulled over in a car that they carjacked. They was in a stolen fucking car. That's why he got caught. No detectives wasn't out here kicking down nobody's fucking doors because he white finding the fucking killer. Okay, you stupid motherfuckers. The fucking killer of the Temple student got killed because they carjacked somebody and they was in a stolen fucking car. That's how they got caught. So stop keep commenting this dumb shit about, oh, they found the Temple killer quick. Y'all stupid as shit. Stop with the black and white dumb shit, man. You got a mom on here grieving. You coming with this dumb shit. You don't know what the fuck you talking about just to be seen. I don't play this shit, man. They got arrested because they was in this car the next day. Y'all dumb motherfuckers. Stop commenting this dumb shit, trying to make everything racial. Like, come on. Y'all know what the fuck y'all talking about.
No, at this point, it doesn't even matter. White, black, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
A child is a child. A mother that is grieving is a mother that is grieving, and there's no white or black scene. It's just a mother that has lost a child. But at the end of the day, like I said, some of these murders are going. It wouldn't be an unsolved murders in Philadelphia website or thing if it wasn't unsolved. So we're always going to have to deal with those unsolved murders. But at the end of the day, the one thing I will say, even for the moms that don't have their cases solved, you gotta learn how to just be able to grieve, have your moments of grief and everything. But I've learned to stop looking for things and stop expecting, because when you start expecting, expectation is a big thing. And when you keep expecting something, it's like a kid sitting here. I can't wait. I'm going to get something. I'm going to get, and the more that they don't receive what it is that they're expecting, the more it pulls you down. You start getting depressed. You go into depression. You're angry. You find yourself because you're not getting what it is that you're expecting. So everything that comes to me, or if something new was to come, it would be like icing on the cake. It would be like a present. It would kind of be like, oh wow, I got this present. Something came, and that's how I look at it. I don't expect anything, but everything that comes that is valid, and that is real, and that is right. And you're doing it with the intentions of not being seen, but you're doing it with the intentions from the heart. It will be acknowledged. And on that day, we get to smile.
Right.
That's it.
That's all that matters. Well, Miss Gloria, I definitely appreciate you telling your story and everything like that. And like I say, this ain't the last time we're going to talk. Trust me, you'll be talking to me tomorrow. Like I'm saying.
Definitely.
So, like,
and I'm going to send that to you. I'm going to send it to you. So
listen, I'm posting that shit tonight. If I got time, I'll post it tonight. I'll tag him in it and all that, because he ain't going. I'm posting this too, so everybody knows. Some people, trust me, he heard about this live already. Somebody already told him tonight. Ikey Raw on your ass. Trust me. So
good.
His people.
His ass ain't called me. I don't care.
You'll talk to him tomorrow. I promise you, you're going to talk to him. If you don't talk to him tomorrow, you're going to talk to him this week. He's going to try to tell you whatever because he's a fucking politician. But he's going to make this right. Fuck all that, man.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to make it right. Thank you.
Yeah. So I appreciate you, Ms.Gina. I called you Glory. I'm sorry. My aunt name is Glory. I'm sorry. Ms.Gina, I'm sorry. But I definitely appreciate you for coming on and sharing your story and all that. R.I.P. Durell. We're going to get justice and all that if we can. But like I say, whatever you want to do, just let me know. We got you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And you enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Nope. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.